So, guys, welcome on here today. It's a wonderful and a very bright day out here. We are currently 20 weeks. Our birds are 20 weeks today, and you can see how we are all doing. So, guys, as of last week, before I find out that my birds are actually laying, there's a sign that these birds actually do for me to know that they are going to lay. So watch closely. Once you see this sign, you definitely know that these birds are going to lay. It depends on how the age of the birds. You check the comb in consideration. I'm going to consider the combs of the bird because before you know that they're about to lay, this is how they are going to act for you to know that these birds are actually about to lay. So once you see this sign, your bird is definitely going to lay within 1 week of or after you have noticed that sign. Okay, so right now I'm actually going to show you. So let's move close to this place. Once your bird is able to start doing submassive bending, you can see this bird, you can see the way it acts, you see the way it went down like this. Exactly. It's it has started laying though, but there are plenty here, so I cannot really tell the exact one. But once you notice your bird doing something like that, once you just move close to them, you notice that they start going down on their own. You can see this one. You can see once your bird starts going down, you don't have to touch them. Once you just move close to them a bit, they will go down. So that's what they call the submassive bending. So most times you have to catch them. You act like you want to get rid of them or hold them. Once you act that way, your birds are going to do the submassive bend down. So let me move towards that place so I can see if another bird will do it. Okay, I'm just going to act like I'm going to catch them. We're actually going to see. Okay, this one is not. You can see this bird. You can see this particular bird. It's laying or it's about to lay because I never can tell how many birds is laying at the moment. Okay, you can see this one as well. Anyone that run, you can see this is not about to lay. It has not started laying either. You can see this. You can see there are plenty of them that is going to lay or that is about to start laying. But at the moment, not all our birds are laying. So once you notice this sign, this is what they call the submassive squat or the submassive bend down. You are going to know that your bird is definitely going to lay within 1 week or less than 1 week. I noticed this sign on Thursday last week before my bird started laying. So before the upper Thursday, on Tuesday, that's when my bird started laying. Yes, so mind you, with this sign, your bird is actually going to start laying the moment you notice your birds acting exactly like that. And first thing to consider, before your birds can start doing something like that, your routine practices need to be very okay. The comb of your birds need to be matured. I noticed this on the 18th weeks. My birds started doing the submersive bend down when I was about to give them the 3-in-1 vaccine, which is the Newcastle, the egg drop syndrome, and the infectious bronchitis. That's when I noticed my bird actually going down. But most people, their birds don't actually do like that because most time their routine practices is not really good. Okay, so you have to make sure you do everything. You have to make sure your birds are you have fed very well. You don't have to minimize or try to compromise their feeding. You just have to feed them extremely very well. You can see I noticed it. My bird start laying at 19 weeks of age because we are doing actually well. And today we are currently at 20 weeks and I'm getting, it started going from about 1 egg to currently I'm having 9 eggs a day. The number keep on increasing, but 3 days now, since the day before yesterday, I've been getting 9 eggs every day. So hopefully it's actually going to increase over time. Okay, so that is actually exactly how to know your birds is going to lay. Okay, and our routine practices has been very nice. Yes, I was actually complaining some days ago that my birds are not eating. Aside the time I debeak them, aside the time I debeak my birds, where their feeding ratio decreased from about um 36, it dropped down to 27. So I was actually very worried because these birds are about to lay in some few days, and they're not eating well. So I was worried. Well, guys, guess what? Currently, this bird is consuming so well, about 40 kg a day. So that is how the birds are consumed, because they have a daily feed chart, yes, and a weekly chart of how many bags. So when I check their um daily chart of feed, I will do it in a week, so I will know the estimated amount of feeds or the bags of feed I'm going to give my birds in that particular week, and I'll make sure it's not more or less. You get, I'll just be within the range. It is not going to go up even with a kg or 0.5 or half a kg. I'm actually going to give them the exact kg, so they will not be overfed and start having some things or some kind of sickness in their body. Yes, they're actually doing very well. I'm very, very happy because our birds are so big. Like, they are big, guys. I can actually tell you that our birds are big. You can see our bird of, you can see something like this, just 20 weeks of age. This is the early 20. Today is just the first day of the 20 weeks. You can see them, how big their combs are, because we're actually giving them what we are meant to be giving. Yes, I'm using one of the most expensive feeds in the market to get these birds up, and that is a very good advantage, because when you start well, definitely the birds know that you're actually giving them something that is very good, and trust me, they're actually going to deliver. They're not going to compromise your eggs. They're not going to compromise or fail you when they know you're actually doing the right thing. Okay, so that is that. Yes, currently these birds are laying birds. I have to maintain my feeding time range in which I feed my birds. Okay, so I feed my birds 6 a.m. most times. I wake up by 5:30, then I do the needful. 6 a.m. I'm down here feeding these wonderful birds. So once I'm done, it's very wise to feed your birds late in the noon when they are eager to eat. You don't just fill the feeds, don't just top it up to the brim. No, you don't have to do that. So I feed them 23 kg, okay, in the morning, then the remaining 23, that is 46 in the noon, late in the noon. By then, they are very hungry, and their body is going, they are ready to adapt to consume these feeds. So that is what I actually do. So it's actually going to give them, they're actually going to be very eager, and they need this food feeds when the time has gone. When it's something is over excess, they will not actually value it. But once you deprive it from them a bit, guess me, they're actually going to do extremely well. So that is that. Yes, our birds are actually doing so nice. Over time, our eggs are actually going to increase. And guys, guess what? The size of my eggs is actually getting big. They just started laying last week, guys, and I'm so happy. I'm so surprised that I did this up to this extent. And guess what? Most people tell me their birds or your birds are actually going to stay for 3 weeks before you can get the market size. And guys, guess what? On my next video, I'm actually going to show you my egg size is almost the market size. Guys, I can actually sell that egg exactly in the market. I'm not actually going to be sorting my eggs. No, I won't do that. I won't just end up cheating myself. I'll put my eggs when I'm about to sell. I'll put it in a random price, and I'll put the size is going to be random. I'm not going to do big. I'm not going to do small. So I'll just have to mix them. Then you that is getting from me, you can do what you want to do. Yes, so that is what I'm actually going to do. But at the moment, we are not selling pullet size eggs for now. Yes, we have to wait for about 2 weeks. Yes, so by then our eggs is going to be extremely big. Yes, I can tell you. Watch out for my next video. I'm actually going to show you the current size of our eggs. Yes, so that is that. Thank you guys, and have a wonderful day. Catch you up on my next upload.